Um, Hi, everyone. We're here today, all sports talk with Ruben and Justin. And today on episode one, we're going to be talking about the Jadeveon Clowney signing and a couple of discussion points there. We're also going to talk about James Conner. Um, then we're going to go to the mock draft. We're going to do a full first round mock draft for all the teams. And then we're going to do a rounds 1 through 4 dive for Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Then we're going to take a look at how the Leafs stack up position wise against other contenders, Stanley Cup contenders in NHL. And then we're going to do a quick recap of the Jays game. So I'll get into it right now. The Jadeveon Clowney, he signed for 1 year, up to $10 million. So Ruben, what does this mean for the Browns, like as a team, talent wise?
I think it's a good signing because they lost a lot of guys off the edge. Uh, they let go of Larry Ogunjobi up the middle, but that wasn't their main need. It was a big need pass rush besides Myles Garrett, but they also needed a linebacker, which we could address during the mock draft. So, but this helps their defense improve. It's also on a fair salary because it's a test yourself because it's 1 year.
Yeah, it's more of a this is you to go prove it. We'll give you the deal after. I think the former first overall pick was really good, and then he slowed down a little bit since. But I think with Myles Garrett getting most of the heat on the opposite side of Clowney, he can produce more. As with the Titans, he was the main guy, and well, he really didn't have a good year. I don't think he recorded a single sack. Um, what does this mean, cap space wise, though?
Well, it was 1 year up to 10 million, so the 10 million is fully guaranteed. It would leave them at around like $4.6 million rest in this year's free agency class. But they still have to they'll probably maybe like let go of Odell Beckham or trade him because he's making a ton of money.
That's a hot take.
So
I like that though. I like that for them.
or same with like David Njoku, I could see them letting him go or like someone like that because they also brought in like Malik Jackson up to fix the D line too. So or Sheldon Richardson because
Yeah.
he's pretty old and on a big contract.
Well, yeah, I really like them trading David Njoku, and Odell Beckham. I think that OBJ is a little overrated. Obviously, your Steelers fans would agree with me there. But David Njoku, I think Austin Hooper has solidified the tight end number 1 role, and I think Njoku has the potential to become a tight end number 1. And I think he can really succeed somewhere else with a better team with more targets than he would get on the Browns.
Well, for the
Um,
Browns, I think they have to give up on Odell or Jarvis Landry this offseason or next offseason if it's a trade or cutting them halfway through the season or halfway through training camp.
yeah, well, because I think here, if you look at it, behind Odell and Jarvis Landry, they have Donovan Peoples-Jones and Rashad Higgins, who are both good receivers. Donovan Peoples-Jones being a rookie last year, he can come back and break out this year. So yeah, I think letting go of one of them would help them, although the chemistry they do have.
And they also have a really run heavy scheme with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb and a great O line.
Well, that goes back to the David Njoku thing. If you look at it, even out of the backfield, you look at Kareem Hunt, who's getting a lot of targets out of the backfield, and even Nick Chubb is getting targets out of the backfield. They have a run heavy scheme, so they really don't have to involve the tight end number 2 that much, except for blocking. And I feel like David Njoku is a threat in the passing game.
And they also drafted a rookie tight end last year, Harrison Bryant.
Yeah, there's some right. I think he was also pretty good. So they definitely don't need him at the tight end. I think they maybe are drafting to trade him, but I think he has potential elsewhere. Um,
Yeah.
so our last topic, our second and last topic for the Clowney signing is what does it mean for division rivals, the Ravens, the Bengals, and your team, the Steelers? So
Well, the Browns were the team in the AFC North that got better alongside the Bengals because the Ravens lost Ngakwe and Judon off the edge. The Steelers lost Bud Dupree off the edge. The Bengals lost Carl Lawson, but they
They also did
replaced him
get
with Trey
Hankerson.
Hendrickson. Yeah, and but I think Trey Hendrickson was a bit of an overpay.
Oh,
But
grossly.
like they still got better, and the Steelers lost edge players. Same with the Ravens. So if the Browns are getting pressure on the quarterbacks, unlike the rest of the teams, that will help them win some more divisional games.
Well, yeah, I completely agree with your statement there. So I want to ask you one more. This wasn't originally planned, but I'm really intrigued. Don't be biased here. No biasm here. Would you say that right now the Cleveland Browns are the team to beat in the AFC North?
Yes, with the 17-game season, I could see them going 13-4 to 12-5. And I think the Steelers have a good chance at finishing second or tied for second, at least with the Ravens. And the Bengals are up and coming because they'll have Joe Burrow, but they still need to get him protection, which
Yeah,
you might see in the mock draft, but
just maybe.
just maybe.
Um, yeah. So I think the Clowney signing is a prove it deal, and I'm not a fan of the Browns, but I do have respect for them. So I'm hoping to see the prove it deal. Hoping to see that he proves it, and hopefully helps take down the Steelers this year.
The
Um,
next signing was James Conner to the Arizona Cardinals on a 1-year, $1.75 million contract. I think that's another prove it contract because they have Chase Edmonds. They let go of Kenyon Drake, but James Conner was nothing spectacular last year. He was also injured, which doesn't help, but you could just see it in the Steelers' run game stats that him and Benny Snell were both pretty awful.
yeah. Well, maybe it has something to do with the offensive line. I don't think so, but yeah, I think that the Connor signing was another prove it deal, not a big deal. But here, I just want to ask you another unplanned question here. Um, how stupid would you say that Kenyon Drake signing is, or would you even say it was not a good deal?
In my opinion, Josh Jacobs is overrated, but
Same
he's
here.
still a good player.
Yeah,
But he's backing Kenyon Drake's also a pretty good player, so it's not great on him, but great for Vegas to get a 1-2 running back punch.
yeah, but I just think maybe they just put their money more towards less toward Kenyon Drake and more towards a wide receiver. I know they got Willie Snead this year, and I know they already have Darren Waller. I just thought maybe they would go because it doesn't look like Henry Ruggs is turning out too much.
Yeah, because well, they also need O line after trading Gabe Jackson and Trent Brown and releasing Rodney Hudson.
Yeah. So we're gonna go pretty much the same thing with Clowney signing. What does this mean for the Browns? Or for the Cardinals? We kind of gone into that with a prove it deal. They still have Chase Edmonds in the backfield. I don't think it's such a run heavy offense that they are running, but
Well,
I still think they need a good run game.
they have DeAndre Hopkins, arguably one of the best receivers in football. Christian Kirk is decent. AJ Green's coming in, who's also
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
AJ
He's
Green,
injury
AJ
prone.
Green's great wide receiver too.
Yeah, well, he's just injury prone.
Yeah, like when this guy's healthy, he's a baller. Like when he was healthy, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, dude was a top 7 receiver in the league. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, he's old now, so he's getting a lot worse. But if he can regain himself with a good offensive line and weapons around him, I think that will change a lot because I think I'd argue that the Cardinals' offense is better than the Bengals' offense last year in almost every single way.
Yeah. And for James Conner, he was a Pro Bowler before with the Steelers, so he has the talent. So it's just, can you put it together and stay healthy
But yeah,
and just show what he's worth?
well, yeah, I always liked James Conner. I thought he was a good running back. When he made the Pro Bowl, I thought it was well deserved. I think that if he goes to the Cardinals, I think that what the Cardinals have that the Steelers didn't have is they have a legit their Chase Edmonds can come in and be a running back one. We saw that when Kenyon Drake was injured this year. So
Yeah.
I think that if this James Conner deal doesn't turn out how they want it to turn out, I think that they have other
Then
options. So why not? We're not going
they can also draft one because they're ahead of
Yeah.
the Dolphins and Steelers, who are both looking at running backs.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll get into that in mock draft, but I really don't see them going running back, especially in this draft.
Yeah.
Early, especially not in the first 4 rounds, which we're going to get to. Any final comments for the James Conner?
No, I think we can move on to the mock draft.
Alrighty here. So I have a mock draft from the Draft Network, and so what we're going to do, we're going to do a 1-round mock draft with every team. This is going to be based off what we think and what we think will be the best fits, what they need the most. So what we can do here is we can take turns. So Ruben, do you want to go first or should I go first?
I'll go first because this one's
All
pretty
right.
obvious.
We could take Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And another obvious one, I'm going to take Zach Wilson for the Jets.
And I think
there won't be explanations for these.
I think for this pick, it's between 3: Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones. I know Kyle Shanahan likes Mac Jones, but he's also
This is our opinion. So.
been both, but he's both pro days of Fields and Lance. So I'll have them taking Justin Fields.
That was definitely my take. I was going first overall, and then ending up with the 49ers pick at 3. I just don't see them trading up for Mac Jones like that. All right, so this is like a tougher one. I feel like the 49ers or the Falcons are going to end up taking Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I agree.
And I see them even going with a guy like Kellen Mond later in the draft, maybe. Your pick, Bengals. I know you're going here. I know who you want.
Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
Like Rashawn Slater can make a case because he can play everything on the O-line, but Penei Sewell's better at tackle.
Yeah, definitely. And I am going with him, Jamar Chase. I think that they need a wide receiver pretty badly. And I would take Jamar Chase from LSU. He opted out, but he looks really good. Lions.
This might surprise you, but I'm going Jalen Waddle over Devontae Smith. Because why would you
I think Waddle's better.
Why not take the speedster and red zone threat than a guy that was similar to Kenny Golladay?
Right, you need to take a Golladay replacement. All right, Panthers. Even with the Sam Darnold, you got a tough spot here. Do you take offensive line or do you take quarterback?
I think Rashawn Slater here.
All right.
Just my opinion.
All right, I screwed up there. You went twice in a row, so I'll go twice in a row now. All right, the Broncos. This is an easier pick for me. I'm taking Trey Lance. I'm not a Drew Lock believer. And then for the Cowboys, I'm taking Patrick Surtain. Lockdown cornerback. They need him. Cross-line Diggs. So Ruben, on the clock with the Giants.
This one's between 2: Devontae Smith or Micah Parsons. But they don't need Devontae Smith because he's
especially
Kenny Golladay. So I'll take Micah Parsons.
Parsons, all right. I wouldn't even consider that a reach. He's an athlete. Yeah, sweet.
He just has off the field issues.
Yeah, but I think
that we don't need to get into.
Yeah, definitely. With the Eagles, I have them taking Devonta Smith. I don't think, even though he's ranked a little behind them, I just don't see them passing on Devonta Smith when they need a wide receiver. Right, Chargers.
But it's pretty obvious. It's offensive tackle or edge. So it's Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle.
That was definitely my pick, Virginia Tech. Vikings, they definitely need a safety after losing players. I like Elijah Vera-Tucker for them. I like it.
Yeah, I like that one too.
For the inside. Definitely the best inside offensive lineman in the draft, you ask me. All right. I think this is a pretty easy pick here.
The guy that is Bill Belichick's dream quarterback, Mac Jones.
All right. Yeah, that might have been the easiest one of the draft other than Trevor Lawrence. All right, we were talking about this one earlier. I don't know what I want. I think what I want, though, is I want J.C. Horn from South Carolina. Yeah. I don't know. I've watched some of his film. I think he's a walk-down corner. And Malcolm Butler's getting old. They need more. They need more. Cornerback. So your pick.
This pick here is between Jalen Phillips, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and Tevin Jenkins. But with
Right,
all
you
they
go. Oh, you
lost
go.
on the O line, I think they need Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah. All right, Tevin Jenkins is off the board. Dolphins again. Jalen Phillips. Way too easy pick there. Miami. He was a beast this year in Miami.
He just has injury, concussion issues.
Yeah, but we'll see how they play out.
This one, I think you can go two ways between Rashad Bateman and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, but they signed Curtis Samuel, so why not go
That's
with
my pick.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah?
Yeah, I'd say they need a linebacker. The Bears. They definitely need a quarterback, but they can't go this early. Ooh, this is a tough one. Good running backs on the board here, but I don't know what I see them doing. This is a trickier one. I think I see them going Rashad Bateman from Minnesota.
Yeah.
They need a wide receiver pick.
Losing Allen Robinson hurts.
Well, yeah. All right, the Colts.
I think this is either edge or offensive tackle, and I don't like any of these offensive tackles, so I think I'm going to take Kwity Paye.
Kwity Paye, are you leaving Ojulari on the board? Damn it, I wanted him to fall to 30. I have the Titans here. And, you know a lot more about college football than I know about college football. But I still feel like the Titans are pretty, even with Bud Dupree, a linebacker. I still think they need help on the edge. But in the end, I think they don't need the edge that badly. And I think I want to take Greg Newsome. They lost Malcolm Butler. They lost Adoree Jackson. They don't really have much there. So Greg Newsome for me.
I think they can go a bunch of different ways.
I know exactly what I'm doing
between Azeez Ojulari,
yeah,
David Collins, and Jamin Davis.
I just think I think it's a reach for Jamin Davis.
Yeah, I think they could get him in the second round with their pick.
Maybe.
I think David Collins out of Tulsa.
David Collins.
Someone I saw considered him the best player in college football last season.
You know what? We all have opinions. David Collins. All right. Not a bad pick. But I am on the board with your team. I am definitely not going to make the wild here. Najee Harris. You guys want him more than me can, I think. Go ahead on the edge. But with the Browns.
Oh, you took the guy I was picking for the Jags anyways, Trevon Moehrig.
Oh my god, that was an accident. Oh wait, I did? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was taking
all right, you can have two. You have two in a row. Anyway, the Browns. We definitely don't need an edge piece now.
I think they need linebacker.
I would say so too.
So I think it's Jamin Davis.
All right, still think it's a little bit of a reach, but hey. Ravens here. I'd love to see him fall, but I think they're going to go Ojulari here. All righty, Saints room.
They need corner. They need receiver. They need a lot of things.
I'd say they need corner the most out of those.
I think they should take Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech.
That's a good pick. I don't know why he's ranked at 34. I consider him a first round talent.
Because he has a lot of injuries, and
yeah, he does actually. I think it doesn't seem, but I think the Packers need to take Elijah Moore. I think they need a second wide receiver behind Devontae.
I would have gone center because they lost Corey Linsley.
I know, but I feel like center is more of a later round. I think you can find more than later.
I think this is between Christian Barmore or Jason Owe.
Oh, come on.
Like maybe a running back.
God. If ETN falls to 30, I would be so pleased if Buffalo takes him. I would be pleased.
They signed Matt Breida.
But yeah, Matt Breida's not good. But
so,
I can see your point.
It depends how they feel about Zach Moss and Devin Singletary.
I
Drafting
actually think they believe.
back
I
in
actually think they believe in Moss and somewhat in Singletary. Moss will be the lead back, so I think they should give him another year. But
I
yeah, we'll
don't
be
think they
mad.
need to draft 3 running backs in a row. So
I think Baller Bean knows what he's doing.
I think they should take Christian Barmore because they had
That's not a bad
no.
pick. I would have gone Oa. He's not. But hey, for the Chiefs, they need to tackle badly, but I don't want to reach for Cosme. And also want them to lose. So,
Well, the Chiefs are known for reaching at players.
yeah, you're right. That's actually perfect there. Where do I want to go? I might want to go Kadarius Toney. I mean, they do need a wide receiver. They lost Watkins. No, I think they go later. I'm gonna have them taking Samuel Cosme from Texas reaching. And
This
for the
is
final
so
pick,
hard. This is so hard for the Bucks.
I
They
know
didn't lose
exactly what I'm doing upon that. If he falls to 32, I know exactly what I'm doing.
They didn't lose anyone in free agency. So it's either you get Tom Brady's replacement, none of the quarterbacks
Now
were
that
on
I
the
think of it,
board.
I think it's pretty bad. Because I wanted
Leonard,
ETN at the beginning, but then I realized that they just signed Devon Bernard. They obviously putting on Burnett, Jones, and Bernard. So
Jason Pierre-Paul's not getting any older. Their linebacking core isn't getting much
I think I know who
younger.
they take. I think I know who they take.
They could go for Antonio Brown's replacement, but
I
they
don't think they
have,
do that early. Like, why would they do it that early? Is the question. Unless you think so.
and it's not for sure he's leaving. And they have
Yeah.
Scotty Miller. Ryan Jensen's not that old, or is not that young, so I could see them taking Landon Dickerson.
Really, I ended up taking Jason Owa. All right, maybe we should have done 2 rounds, but that is the final here. I think it was a pretty good draft. I'm just gonna ask here, what do you think was the biggest steal of the draft? Yeah, I know,
Um,
but
well, I
give
think
me a second.
like the Eagles traded down because they realized that they were able to get Devontae Smith lower down the board. But I think
Yeah,
Trey Lance to the Broncos
that was mine. That was mine.
because I think they would have traded up with the Falcons, but we're not doing trades in this one.
Yeah. No, I actually think I might even. I don't know. I think I might even argue that what's his name, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker for Notre Dame. I don't know. I like him a lot, especially at 19. That's like a pretty good pick.
Yeah, because
I
you
think that
can
was a pretty good
do a
mock
bit of
draft,
both.
and I think a lot of teams benefited from that.
Now we do the
So
4 round.
let's go
No,
Bills, Steelers, and we are going to do a 4-round mock draft here of the Bills and Steelers. I'm just putting out fast here, so the pick's going pretty quickly. We're going 4 rounds, Bills and Steelers. All right, let's start her up.
This is where things can get a little crazy.
Yeah, well, because the board's fake. You're like, look at that. Justin Fields is still on the board.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got up in line.
Jalen Waddle to the Giants.
If you look at all these picks here,
at 12.
Jesus, Ruben, you guys are gonna be able to get like a early first round talent. Steelers.
Oh, yeah. There goes Najee Harris.
Oh, right before. Wow.
I think this is where you take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
You're
Yeah,
going
they saw.
linebacker. You're going linebacker. You're going for Dupree's replacement.
Well, I think I trust Alex Highsmith for pass rush.
Yeah, yes. All right, my pick with Buffalo here. Boom. Jason Ella, Penn State. Beast.
Caleb Farley
right.
was still on the board.
I know. I just think that they're also there's a guy visiting. I don't know. I think he's from the Colts. He's pretty good. He's like
TJ Carey.
Yeah, he had 2 interceptions last year. I think he's good. And Dane Jackson, he was in a 6-round pick last year, but he was a beast when he played.
No, there goes my pick. I was going to take Dylan Redund if he was still available.
That wouldn't have been so bad. All right, Ruben, you're on the clock here.
I think they take.
Tell me if you want to start
Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan. Because
I actually think that's a pretty good pick.
Because I saw earlier this year they had him as a first-round player to the Steelers in mock drafts.
55. That's good. 55. All right, for Buffalo, I don't even care. I'm going. Oh, I really want Melifonu, but I also heard that Paulson and Debo. guess I'm gonna go with Elijah Molden. I'm gonna reach a little bit, but I guess we have to. Buffalo needs a cornerback. All right, we are waiting a little bit for your pick here. Too bad for our teams are trying to get the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh, I see the guy that the Steelers might take here if he stays.
Oh, Davis Mills. You guys want to go?
Yeah, that's easy take. Davis Mills, Ben
I know.
Roethlisberger's replacement, even though they have
Ben
so many
Roethlisberger sucks. I'm sorry. You hate to hear it, but like, I don't know.
they have so many quarterbacks on the
Oh,
roster. If it's Josh
no.
Dobbs,
I'm
Mason.
so urgent to take Kenneth Gainwell right now. Oh.
But do you want to take another?
I really want to take him. I really do, but I think they need a wide receiver more. Like, I mean, because Beasley and Sanders are not getting younger. Oh no, no, Lord! I'm gonna take Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, I would have taken Quincy Roche.
I already went edge though.
Yeah.
What's his name? I already took over. Wow, they're at like no picks here. Do we have any left on the board?
I think.
Do we have any left on the board?
Yeah, the Steelers have one coming up.
Yeah, the Steelers doing the Bills shut out. Yeah, the Bills. I guess the Bills don't have that. You guys, you guys have a couple here. Steelers. Who do you want?
There's.
I think I know who
I think Kylan Hill, running back out of Mississippi State, because
I was looking more towards what's his name? I was looking more towards Kendrick Green.
Yeah, or I was looking at Deo Odianigbo out of Vanderbilt, but I think running back is really important at this stage.
All right, I don't know. You guys got a little bit closer. You guys would have got Trey Sermon. That would be a good pick. Anyway, Kylan Hill, next pick here is for the Steelers. The Bills don't have any more picks.
Oh, it's a compensatory.
I wonder if they traded it.
Okay. Oh, I would have loved Walker Little.
Think you definitely.
This one's easy. Deo. Actually, no, Trey Brown out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys need a cornerback. That's going to do it for this mock draft. I'd say it went pretty well. I don't know. I'm going to give you a second to look at our picks here. And what would you grade each team? If you have to grade it, like this draft.
Well, if Najee Harris isn't there at 24 and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is, that's an easy take for the Steelers. And same with Jalen Mayfield in the second. And if a quarterback, if it's Kellen Mond or Davis Mills is there in the third, it's jump right on it, even though they have a bunch of QBs. But it doesn't hurt to have a young one coming up. Then
you hate to hear it, but Dwayne Haskins not good.
Yeah, the last two picks are cornerback we need. Joe Hayden's on the last year of his contract, and he's 32 today, so happy birthday, Joe Hayden. But you're old. Yeah. And then Kyle Hill is a young running back to go in front of McFarland, maybe back up Benny Snell. Because he's a speedster. Because Kylan Hill's a speedster.
Yeah. So what are you giving this draft for the Steelers? More grade.
An A-, B+.
I'm giving them a B, just because Najee Harris, I think, is exactly who they need in the first round. If they get Najee Harris as an A draft for me, I just think I like Kylan Hill. He's quite explosive. He's a really fast running back, but I just feel like Najee Harris is just the guy they need to lead the running back committee, even as soon as this year.
Yeah.
And for the Bills, I don't know. I think I'm going to give the Bills a B+, because I love Owa at 30. Elijah Molden, I think, was pretty good at Washington. Obviously, he wasn't at one of the biggest schools still. And Kenneth Gainwell, I think he was also very good. You probably know more about him than I do. I don't really know half these guys. But I think that I'm going to give the Bills a B to a B+. I think it was exactly what they needed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Same thing?
Yeah.
All right. So that concludes the mock draft part of this. And on to the next topic here. And that will be we're going to look at now hockey, and we're going to look at the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we're going to look at them position wise against other teams. So what we can do is we can go line by line, or we can go forward group by forward group, or defenseman group by defenseman group. It's up to you. What do you want to do? Like, do you want to do line by line, or just forwards by forwards group by
I think we
forwards
should do
defenseman?
position group by position group.
Alrighty. So
I think the
I have a
first thing is Carolina.
yeah. So I got these mapped out. First one is definitely the Canes. The Canes have definitely been good this year. I mean,
Well,
they're
they
not
didn't do much
necessarily
at the trade deadline, which hurt
yeah,
them.
I guess, but I still think they're a good team. I think we're gonna ignore the ratings, but this is from dailyfaceoff.com. Um, so I'll read out the forward group here. They have Andrei Svechnikov, Sebastian Aho, and Jesper Fast. They have Martin Vikash, Vincent Trocheck, and Dino Niederreiter. They have Jordan Marnicook, Jordan Stahl, and Warren Fogle. And then Morgan Geeky, Stephen Lorentz, and Cedric Paquette. Injured on their forward group right now, they have Teuvo Teravainen and Brock McGinn. You want to say the defense?
Jacob Slavin and Dougie Hamilton, Brady Skjei and Brett Pesce, Hayton Fleury and Jake Gardner.
Fleury was recently traded, but I don't think we know exactly who's going to be replacing yet. So that's in the making. And the goalies are Peter Mrazek and Alex Nedeljkovic. Nedeljkovic will be the starter, I think. I think he's the better goalie. He's could potentially his prospect. Anyway, let's take a look at the Maple Leafs lineup here. So we'll read out the Maple Leafs lineup here once. We won't do it again. There's no need for it. So on the first line, we have Marner, Matthews, and Galchenyuk. Second line, Mikheyev, John Tavares, and Zach Hyman. Third line, Jumbo Joe, Alex Kerfoot, and Wayne Train Simmons. In the fourth line, they have Nick Robertson, Pierre Engvall, and Scott Sabrin.
But
Now, I
I
just
think
want to say that, yeah, it
this
all
all changes.
changes. I mean, Nylander's out, Polino's out. Those are two huge guys. So after this, I don't know if you want to do this extra part.
And
We can
Spezza.
even at the end of this.
Out.
Oh yeah, Spezza as well. At the end of this, we can even go and we can look at what we predict the lineup is going to be for Leafs when full healthy, so including Riley and Ash as well. But anyway, do you want to say the defense?
Morgan Riley and TJ Brody, Jake Muzzin, Justin Hall, Travis Dermott, and Zach Bogosian.
I think Bogosian, we both know number one defenseman. Nylander and Freddie are out. As we mentioned, Foligno, Ben Hutton, and Riley Nash all came in this deadline. They're all, yeah, and they also brought in Big Save Dave Rittich, who's the goalie along with Jack Campbell. Well, Freddie is out. All right, let's get to the comparing part. So minus these ratings, I'm gonna ask you, which team has the better forward group? I know my answer, but I'll give you to the forwards of the league.
I think the Leafs have more up front with the depth and the scoring ability. Svechnikov is pretty good, same with Aho, but their scoring does not compare to Marner and Matthews, in my opinion.
I'm on the exact same page as you. I think the Leafs the Leafs offense is much better. I think that up front and down low, even though with the ratings, I mean, look at how stacked they're going to be. Look at their third lines and fourth lines, which could be second lines on average offenses. I think that this is a top three offense in the league, and I think that Carolina is not really an offense first team, more of a defense first team. So let's look at the defense here. If Jacob Slavin, Dougie Hamilton, Brady Skjei, Brett Pesce, Jake Gardner, who we love and cherish, and Hayden Fleury. Then we have on the other side Morgan Riley, TJ Brody, Jake Muzzin, Justin Hall, Travis Dermott, Zach Bogosian, and maybe Ben Hutton. Who would you take on defense?
Well, I think this one's tough because both third line defense are nothing special. Like Travis Dermott and Zach Bogosian. and Jake Gardner and Hayden Fleury are all
I think
another.
Fleury's gone as well. It's not going to be an amazing replacement. It's not going to be like an NHL caliber defenseman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really like the upfront defense, and I don't know your opinion on like the first two lines, how they match up against each other. The third line's pretty much tied.
I think the Leafs match up well on like the second line because I think Jake Muzzin could be a line one defense on any team.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I'd
just that
actually,
he's behind Morgan Riley.
yeah, I actually maybe say that because of the amount of games that they've started. Muzzin Hall are the starting pair, the lockdown pair.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I don't know the first line of Carolina, even minus these ratings. Dougie Hamilton is a Norris candidate, and Jacob Slavin is just amazing if you watch him. I don't know. This first line outweighs it for me, and I have to take Carolina
Yeah.
as the better defensive group.
If we're talking pure defense, yeah, because I see Morgan Riley as an offensive defenseman. Like
Yeah,
TJ Brody is nice on defense. Like he has a
TJ
great
Brody.
stick.
TJ Brody's there because to let Morgan Riley go in.
Yeah.
And so I don't know about you, but I think the goalies are pretty obvious. I think that I easily take Toronto.
Yeah, well, the Leafs have 3 quality starters. Well, not just quality.
Even like
Freddie,
four. I mean, Hutchison hasn't been awful this year. He hasn't been amazing. He hasn't been awful
which
this
is
year.
surprising, but
Alrighty. So that's the
another
Carolina
tough
Hurricanes.
one.
Who would
Here's a
you
tough
say? Who
Colorado
would you
Avalanche.
say is the best team? Like adding it all together, who would you give it to?
Probably these guys, the Avalanche.
Or no, the Carolina Hurricanes anyways.
Oh, then I'd give it to Toronto.
Alrighty. I would as well give it to Toronto. So as you mentioned, we're looking at the Avalanche, the current first seed in the NHL by 2 points, I think. 2 points it
Over
is
Washington and Toronto.
at the time of recording. And let's take a look at this group here. They got a good group, let me tell you that. They got Mikko Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon, Gabe Landeskog, Andre Burakovsky, Nazem Kadri, and Carl Soderberg. Valeri Nishkushin, Tyson Jost, Brendan Saad, and Liam O'Brien, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and JT Comfer. You want to do the defense?
Devon Toews, Samuel Girard, Ryan Graves, Cale Makar, Jacob McDonald, and Connor Timmins.
And so the guys hurt. They actually do have a good amount of players hurt. They have Matt Calvert, Jonas Donskoy, Bowen Byron, Logan O'Connor. They have Eric Johnson. That is for the Force
And
defense.
Philip Grubauer is also out.
Yes. So for the goalies, they have a couple of injured goalies. They have Yoni Jokic and Devin Dubnyk in right now, but that's not very good. They have Grubauer and Pavel Francois. Their two goalies on Pavel Francois on IR, and Grubauer is day to day, so he should be back sooner than later. But right now they're off with Dubnyk. So we already said the Leafs lineup. All right, give me your offense, defense. Who are we taking? Offense.
Well, I think Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen is just an elite line right there.
Yeah, same. I think that the Matthews, Marner, Gouch line as well as elite, but nowhere near this level, I think.
Well, I don't see Galchenyuk being up there in the playoffs. I think it's either Hyman or Nylander up there.
Hyman, no, I'd say it's no. Tavares, I think Tavares is staying with Hyman. We'll definitely get more into this after, but I think that it might be it's either Foligno or Hyman, in my opinion.
And then Nazem
Look at this.
Kadri. Right?
Yes, yeah. I mean,
Like
we miss
Nazem
Nazem Kadri. Miss him a lot.
Yeah, as Leafs fans, we miss Nazem. But that's another great line with that acquisition of Soderberg.
Yeah. I mean, if we're looking at all these lines together, they're all top 10 according to these rankings. I said I wouldn't bring them in, but still, like this board is compared to the Maple Leafs, and I think the Maple Leafs have a top 3 offense, but I think the Avalanche have a top 1 dog. I think that they have a top 2 offense, and there's one team behind them. I think they have the best offense in the league, and I don't see the Leafs really matching up against them offensively.
I think these numbers say.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like I don't think these ratings are so on, but I think with the Avalanche it shows like these players like even like they're missing some players. They're missing Eric Johnson. They're missing Bowen Byram. They're missing Matt Calvert. They're missing Jonas Donskoy. They're missing Logan O'Connor. That's still they're missing players, and still they have this good of a group. So for the defense now, I don't know. I think.
Well, Kale McCarr is a Norris candidate.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a really, really, really hot take here. The Leafs have a better defense. I don't know. I just feel like
I can see it. I can
they
see
don't
it.
they don't have a line like Muzzin and Hall shut down. I
Yeah,
think going to the playoffs, you need that, especially if they're going to have their goalies injured. You got to have a shutdown line. I think Samuel Girard and Kel McCarr are both fantastic offensive defensemen. So is Devon Toews. I think Ryan Graves is pretty good offensively. And McDonald and Timmins are in the third pair. They don't get many minutes. I think that they need a Muzzin and a Hall. I think then there's definitely, I think the Avalanche have a better defense. But for now, because of the
yeah,
Muzzin Hall line, I take the Maple Leafs.
yeah. Especially because their third line D doesn't get that much ice time compared to Bogosian and Dermott, who get solid ice time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Seth Bogosian. 2
Yeah,
points, 41 games. For goalies, I think right now, including injuries, is pretty unanimous. Toronto.
yeah.
Big save Dave, Dave Campbell, easily roll out Dubnik and Johansson.
Well, it depends. Like, is Frederick Anderson back in time for the
Oh, yeah.
playoffs? Because Kyle
And same with
Dubas
Drew Bauer.
has,
Same with Drew Bauer.
yeah,
Because even with Drew Bauer back, I think that Francois, I think he's out for the year, or he's out for a while. He's on IR for a reason. Um, Even with Drew Bauer back, I still think that that Campbell and Freddie as a duo, like I still think that's amazing. And so,
yeah.
who would you take as the best team out here? You already gave yourself just want a little bit of reasoning behind it.
Because they have so much offensive power if it's from the blue line or up front. Like, the Leafs don't get that much production from their blue line outside of Morgan Riley and
Yeah,
maybe a little Travis Dermott, but Travis Dermott's still not special.
yeah, I agree with you. I think that the Avs are the better team. I think that we don't know how they're going to perform in the playoffs. We don't know how the Leafs are going to perform in the playoffs. But I think talent wise, when you run down the lines, the Avs and the Leafs. I think are both top four teams in the NHL. I think that the Avs are probably one or two, and the Leafs are probably three or four. So
Yeah.
I definitely take the Avs over them. Um, One of the few teams I do think is better than the Leafs. Anyway, on to the next one. We are going to go with the Florida Panthers, who have been very surprisingly good this year. Um, I was shocked. Were you shocked? Like they're doing very well, top in
Yeah.
top of their division, even though they lost a couple recently.
Well, I thought they would have been mediocre in the like middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And it
exact same
all
with you.
starts with the man in the middle, Alexander Barkov.
Yeah, Barkov, Huberdeau, Duclair, Hornqvist, Wenberg, and Vetrano, and Ito Lusturian, Owen Tippett, and I'm not sure if you remember him, Mason Marchman. He played a couple games with Toronto. He got flipped in
Yeah.
the Hutchison deal, I think. No, Hutchison.
I think
Maybe
Hutchinson.
maybe the Hutchison deal. I'm not sure. He got flipped in a deal. No, it was what's his name? Dennis Malgin. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
They still Marchman. Marchman's been pretty good for them actually. They got Yuhu, Lamiko, Ryan Lomberg, and Noel Achari. And then going down to their defense, they have Gustav Forsling and Mackenzie Weegar, Keith Yandel and Rocco Dudas, Marcus Nidivera, and Anton Stroman. And in goaltending, I think that the goaltending is much better than they say. I love Chris Drager. I think he's better than Bobrovsky. And
Yeah.
then injured, they have Ekblad over the year, and then Verhaeghe week to week.
Yeah,
So,
I think Verhaeghe's coming back soon.
yeah. Who are you taking for offense?
The Leafs, like
The Leafs.
their
Same.
first line, like
Even
yeah,
Verhaeghe back.
I think Galchenyuk matches pretty well with like Duclair Verhaeghe, but because Barkov is pretty good, he's top 10 center for sure. But I think
Yeah,
Matthews
go even higher
edges
than
him
that.
out. Same with Marner. I think he just edges out Huberdeau.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I think that the Leafs have a way better offense than the Panthers, even with fully healthy team. And even looking at these ratings, not looking at these ratings, I think with Aaron Ekblad, their defense is undebatably Toronto and is in favor of Toronto. And
Yeah, well,
I'd even go as far to say the same thing with the goaltending. I think that Toronto's just the way better team here, even though the Panthers are contenders.
yeah. Like I'm
I just
surprised the Leafs didn't look at Chris Driedger at the deadline.
Then they got big save Dave.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
next
next
is
thing we got
either
here is the Wild.
Minnesota.
Another surprising one. I actually
Yeah, I
think
thought
this
they
one
would
might
have
have
been at the
shocked me the
bottom.
most. Um, so
Like this does not look that great on
yeah,
paper.
okay, Ruben, I'm just gonna warn you before this. There's a lot of stuff wrong here. Like they don't even have a rating for Kaprizov. I mean, come on. So I
Yeah.
definitely say this is like a top 20 for some. But they got Zuccarello, Victor Rask, Kirill Kaprizov, Greenway, Harrison Eckens, fantastic depth. Kevin Fiala, Reinhardt, Marcus Johansson, Parise, Nico Sturm, and Nick Bonino. So they're very spread out, as we can see. They don't stack up. And their defense, which is definitely the powerhouse of their team. Ryan Suter, Jared Spurgeon, Matthew Dumba, Matt Dumba, Jonas Berdine, Carson Sosi, and Ian Cole. And then the goaltending they have right now is Ken Talbot and Capo Kakinen, and Nick
I think
Newstad
that's
and
a
Marco
good
Rossi.
unit.
Kakinen's been actually pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, I think that you can go ahead. You can start here with the offense. I think the offense as well is pretty easy, even though.
Yeah, well, their offense has been outperforming
Yeah, I think the
what
off
expectations. Like
100% their offense has
Kaprizov
been
is
playing a lot better.
probably the leader right now for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, 100%. I think that their offense is definitely exceeded expectations. I think that their expectations were very low though. So I'd still
Yeah.
definitely take the Leafs because of their top six just don't stack up, and their bottom six a little closer. I think the Leafs by a good amount. And then defense for me, it's not even close. I have Wild. I don't know
Yeah.
about you. I think just
Yeah,
have
me too.
depth
The one
up front.
bad thing
The
about the
the
Wild is
top four
that
is amazing.
they signed Zach Parise for so long.
Yeah, I might have to buy him out, but it is what it is. Goaltending is another one. I don't see that. I don't see how. I know Talbot's been good, and so is Kakinen. I just don't see that.
But Jack
I just don't see him
Campbell's
better
been
than Soup and Big
unbelievable.
Save. Big Save Dave and Soupy have just been amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So who are you taking as better overall team? I think mine. I think I know mine.
Like the Wild have exceeded a bunch of expectations, but that's where it stops when they're compared to the Leafs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And
I
like
think the Leafs are
Colorado.
better. I think the Leafs are better, and I don't think it's very close. But I still do think the Wild are a playoff team, and I don't know. Maybe they do make a push. They surprised us in the regular season. That very well means they could surprise us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
On to the next team now. Andre Palat, Braden Point, and Anthony Strelly. This is the Lightning, by the way. Yanni Gord, Blake Coleman, Barclay Goudreau, Tyler Johnson, Mateo Joseph, Alex Killorn, Mitchell Stevens, Ross Colton, and Patrick Maroon. And then defense, they got Hedman and Savard, Cernak and McDonough, and Sergachev and Ben Thomas. They got obviously Vasilevsky, Curtis McElhinney. Injured, they have Kucherov, Stamkos, and Mitchell Stevens, and Anders Nielsen. I don't know, just give me all the positions. Who do you think better position wise?
Well, for offense, I think it's the Leafs right now with the injuries. Yeah, because Stamkos and Kucherov are both out.
Well, Stamkos is probably going to be out for the rest of the year, and Kucherov is out
Yeah.
probably till the playoffs, so I would have to agree with you there.
Especially with the Lightning, because they've been cold lately, and they have nothing behind Vasilevsky. Like McElhinney, he hasn't
McElhinney's
been
good.
good.
McElhinney's good. He was on members of the Leafs, but he's still
Yeah.
good now. Like I think his rating is kind of accurate. I think the
Yeah.
injuries are so big, like they lost two of their best players.
Yeah.
But overall offense right now, then I think I have to give to the Leafs.
Yeah.
Defense for me, I give to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Sergachev is on the third line is just I don't know, maybe a second first line player for the Leafs.
Because the
And
acquisition of David Savard was perfect for them.
I think it was a great fit. And in Vasilevsky, McElhinney, I would say are better than Soupy, Freddie, and Big Safety.
Yeah.
So
For
who's
the
your
playoffs, I think the Lightning could be deadly.
so who is the best team here?
I think I'll have to give it to like it's hard to tell. I think I'll let you pick this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's Tampa Bay. I think that they're a better team. And I think that they have better players. I think that even when they're not healthy, I give it to the Leafs or I give it to Tampa Bay. I think they're the better team. They have better depth. I think their defense outweighs the offense more than the offense outweighs the defense.
Like, they're so good, but they're still considered disappointing this year. That's the thing. Is that they're
Yeah,
like sick with 58 points and people still consider them disappointing.
I would argue. I would argue that, yeah, but they have lost. They have lost Kucherov and Stamkos. I mean, that's a big blow to lose one of them, but both of them.
Yeah.
I think that's even. Um.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Tampa Bay as the team here. Next on the list, we are gonna go to the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and um, I think they're pretty good.
I think they're pretty good
All right,
too.
so here, I don't think it's gonna load here.
As an
Here, do you want to
expansion,
read out? Do you want to read out the four group?
Max Pacioretty, Chandler Stevenson, Mark Stone. You have to scroll. You have to scroll down a little.
I do. My bad about that. Here.
Riley Smith, William Carlson, Jonathan Marchessault, Matthias Janmark, Thomas Noshak, Alex Tuck, Thomas Jurko, Nicholas Roy, and Will Carrier.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, they got to get up front. The
And
defense has been
Matthias
changed a lot with
Janmark.
McNabb. The Theodore Martinez and Zach Whitecloud and Nicholas Hag. And in net, they have well-known Marc-Andre Fleury. And then behind them, in the backup spot, they have Robin Leonard. And no one is injured currently, so fully healthy team. That helps us a lot with the Vegas Golden Knights to put them into perspective. Who are you taking forward? Who are you taking?
Um, I think I'll have to take the Leafs here. Like, they got Matthias Janmark at the deadline, which is a pretty nice deal for them. But overall, I think I'll take the Leafs.
Alrighty, I think that the forward group I give to the Leafs. I think the defense I'd easily give to Vegas, and the goaltending I'd give to the Leafs. And I think the better team is Leafs, and I think if they meet in the playoffs, which they very well could, and they both get out of their divisions, then
Yeah.
I think they can meet each other. I think the Leafs will win that. We've got one final team here, and then we're going to do a little something extra with building the Leafs lineup as we want it to be. So
The
the last game we
Washington
have on the list is
Capitals.
the Washington Capitals. They're having a great year. I mean, they're led by Ovi. How can you not when you're led by the Grade A? I mean, he's just such a good player, so consistent over the course of his career, and he still has it. Big acquisition of Anthony Mantha. Let's dive right into it. Um,
But I still think they lost the trade for Anthony Mantha. I
oh,
think they gave
I think they
too
did
much.
too. Jacob Verana and Richard Panik alone would have been good, but like the first and the second, I just don't think they won the trade. But nevertheless,
Well,
their first line is the first line is Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, and Tom Wilson. They got TJ Oshie, Nicholas Backstrom, and Anthony Mantha, Connor Sheary, Lars Eller, and Daniel Sprong. And then they got Gernot Hathaway, Nick Dowd, and Carl Hagelin on the offensive side. On the defensive side, they have Dmitry Orlov, John Carlson, Brandon Dillon, Justin Schultz, Nick Jensen, and Big Z, Daniel Chara, still keeping up. And now they have Samsonov and Vitek Vanek. And similar to the Golden Knights, no one injured at the moment. So who do you take for all positions?
well, I think in the playoffs, it will come down to if Tom Wilson can stay in the lineup and not get suspended.
Well, yeah,
But
that's a big
in
one.
coming down the season, end of the season. But offensively, I think I'll take the Capitals because I think their top six outbeats the Leafs.
That's a hot take. I like that, but I'm gonna still go with the Leafs. I think that they're even if you look at the third line, I mean the third line's not bad. I think the Leafs have a better third line. I think they have a better first line. I think they have around the same second line, maybe a little bit worse. And I think the fourth line is around the same as well. So I give the Leafs by slim amount, not a lot at all. And for the defense, I think I'd give it to Toronto just because if you look at that second line, it's horrendous. I think that's not a good second line.
And I don't think Zdeno Chara is the man.
He's a beast, but I just don't think
Yeah.
he's as good as maybe he was before. So Leafs or Capitals.
I'll give it to the Leafs here.
Alrighty, that I am gonna go with the Leafs as well, but I think these are two very similar teams. Um, I think that the Leafs, I'd say, are better, but it's really not by much. I think they have a good. I think the Capitals have a really good team though. They have good offense, good defense. I don't think the second pair is good, as I mentioned before. But I still think that they can hold up, and I don't know. They have a great. They have a great team. They have great goals. They have good goaltending. I think we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Here, so we're gonna look at an NHL lineup template, and then we're gonna try to predict the Maple Leafs lineup. What I can also do to help out here is I'm gonna pull up the Toronto Maple Leafs roster. So we can look at the roster. Off of the roster, we take exactly who we want in what spot. So we are keeping track of this here, and what we're gonna do is we are gonna have our template here. This is not hockey, is it? I think so. We're gonna start off here. We're gonna have our 4 lines. We're gonna look at who's in what position. All right. So start off here. I'm gonna pull up the roster here. Everyone on the roster, and so first we're gonna look at the players that are injured right now, and we're gonna look at the players that are not playing as well. So it's Freddie Anderson. His lower body injury. He'll probably be out for the regular season. Nick Foligno, quarantine. Riley Nash, lower body. William Nylander, COVID. Rasmus Sandin, foot. And Ben Hutton as well is quarantining after he got traded from the Anaheim Ducks to the Maple Leafs. So I think, those are all the injured players right now, or the players that are not playing. I mean, Ben Hutton's not injured.
Neither is Nick Foligno.
Yeah, I don't think he's injured either. Anywho, so I have the roster here. This is everyone on the roster right now, including the most recent ones. Yeah, including the most recent ones here. So we are going to go here, and we're going to talk about our first line. Who is on your first line?
Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and Zach Hyman.
Here, 1 second. I'm gonna write this down here. You want Marner, Matthews, and Hyman?
Yeah.
I actually wholeheartedly agree with that. That's a really good line. They've proven to be good to you guys this year. Next line.
Foligno, Tavares, Nylander.
Foligno, Tavares, Nylander. I completely agree with that top 6. I think it's the right combination. I think that they're all good players. I think that's a great second line.
This is where things get interesting.
It is. I thought things might get interesting early, but then I realized that I think this is the easy top 6 here. So I'm gonna pull you back to the roster because things are getting interested. In case you want to take a scan through it.
This one. I think you go Dumbo, Alex Kerfoot, and Ilya Mikheyev on this line.
Dumbo, Kerfoot, and Mikheyev. Wow, I was not expecting that.
That's a new line this year, but
it is.
I don't think we've seen much of it.
My was gonna be. I was gonna go Kerfoot, Mikheyev, and Simmons. I love Wayne Train. Like he's been well.
I could see that.
Do you want to switch or do you like Jumbo there?
Well, I think Jumbo helps in the playoffs and down the
Yeah.
stretch.
These are two. I'm gonna bold the ones that are very changeable. For the next one here, I think we all know. I think the obvious one is Wayne Train.
Yeah. Wayne Simmons.
I'll just write. I could just write Simmons here. Actually, loads up here. Simmons, which is also changeable. And who do you have at center? Spezza.
I have
Right?
Spezza.
I don't have. I have Spezza. I just want Spezza there.
And then this one, it has to be Pierre Engvall, I guess.
Oh wow, fully healthy. Fully healthy. You're leaving out Riley Nash for Pierre Engvall. That is hard. I have different. I have Simmons.
Actually,
I have Spezza and Riley Nash.
Actually, yeah, I think,
especially for the playoffs.
Well, it depends because Pierre Engvall's been on the team the whole season, and
we're talking for the playoffs here. So we're talking like because Polito. Remember that the Blue Jackets have been to a couple playoffs. They're experienced. Yeah. Like they've won series before. So I take Riley Nash any day because of the experience, and he's not that bad. So like that.
Yeah, I think I might take Riley Nash there instead.
I'm gonna underline Nash and Engvall because Engvall is obviously gonna be running the extras here.
Same. I think Engvall and Robertson will be the extras.
Well, Robertson, I feel like you're leaving someone out here, but I'm not sure who exactly.
I don't think so.
No, they traded Barbana, didn't they? They traded Barbana. Leaving out.
Oh, Galchenyuk.
Oh yeah, Galchenyuk. That was Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk and Scott Sabrin.
Oh, I don't see Galchenyuk as an extra.
Oh really? You gonna put him in the lineup? I think that he's definitely an extra.
I could see him over Riley Nash. Because I think it's disrespectful to take Jumbo out of the lineup.
Oh no, I think that you keep Galchenyuk out of the lineup. I don't think I see a place for him now that Marner, Austin, Hyman. Now the top six solidified. I don't see a spot for him. And I actually, I don't know about you. Watching the last game, he looks like he's starting to decrease a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep Galchenyuk as an extra.
Yeah, and then I think you send down Saborin.
I get his name right. He beat Milan Lucic in a fight last night. Guy's a legend. That's our forward group. That's a pretty good forward group. Defense.
Well, I think you can change Simmons and Jumbo.
I would say.
But I think the 7-game series, Riley Nash, Pierre Engvall, and Alex Galchenyuk will be the number 12 guy.
You think they're taking out Jumbo? There's no way they take out Jumbo show. He's going to be in there for the ride.
Yeah, Riley Nash will be the.
I don't know because Columbus has been to a lot of Game 7s. That's definitely something. All right, let's get to the defense. Maybe. All right, let's get to the defense here. I think the defense is pretty similar. I don't know about you. I have Riley and Brody as my first pair.
Yeah.
I think nothing changes on that front. Next one, I have Same Muzzin Hall.
Yeah.
Here, the next
I think they take out Bogosian and put in Ben Hutton.
That's exactly what I thought. Dermott and Hutton.
And then the extras are
Sandine, Ogo, Liljegren.
I think Liljegren's been in with the Marley forever.
Yeah, look at the screen. You're missing a little. Oh wait, no, wrong. You're missing a little someone important.
Who?
Best player on the Maple Leafs, Martin Burnson. No, but he will be an extra. And I don't know. What do we think about Freddie? Do we assume that he's in, or do we assume that he's out?
Well, By the sound of Kyle Dubas, it sounds like he keeps holding him out till he's 110%.
But I don't
And the
really see them
playoffs,
bring him in the playoffs. Like, why would they just bring him in the middle of the playoffs when he hasn't played in 4 months?
yeah, especially because the playoffs are right around the corner.
I just see him out for the rest of the year. So, how about you?
Yeah,
I see Campbell and big safety.
yeah. And then I see uh,
Henry
Hutchins.
Hutch.
Actually, no, I could see Freddie as the alternate
Freddie.
goalie as the third.
Hutch slash Freddie. But I'd take Hutch slash Freddie. Freddie, if he's 110%, he's 110%.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I'd take that. I like that a lot.
I think
All
that's a
right.
quality lineup that can
I think
beat
that's a Stanley
anyone.
Cup. I don't know. I think that's a Stanley Cup winning lineup. Might just be me. That's it for hockey. So
And now the
we're gonna
last
just conclude
part.
it with the last part here. Pretty
The
long, but
Blue
I think
Jays
I don't know how long
beat.
we've gone. We've got it
I'm
going.
pretty
I think we've
happy
got
that.
an hour and a half so far. I think we got maybe an hour and a half. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I,
Anyway, the Blue Jays
I'm
defeated. You can go.
I'm pretty happy with this one. We beat the Yankees 4 times out of the first 6.
Yeah, I
Bo
was just about to say
Bichette,
they beat the Yankees twice in a series. Is that not impressive? I know they're
Bo
5-7
Bichette with
still.
the home runs. Bo Bichette with the walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth.
I gotta say
Alejandro
something.
Kirk.
Bo Bichette is definitely my favorite Blue Jay, and it's not even close. I might get a
Yeah,
Bo Bichette jersey. It might replace. Never mind. It might replace my Luca one there. You can see the back.
yeah.
Maybe.
Alejandro Kirk went deep 370 feet.
Accurate. Pretty. That's
Yeah,
pretty
big
good.
boy Alejandro Kirk.
Vladdy
Vladimir
was pretty good.
Guerrero looks like a completely different hitter right now.
I know. He looks so good. I mean,
With the
watching the few games that I have watched, he looks amazing.
And with the Jays' decimated rotation to injury, having
I know.
TJ Zoik start is
Very
pretty
Weathers injured,
crazy.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So
now, how do you think about TJ Zeus game? If he went back in?
I do not think he looked
I
good. He
don't think he's
hasn't
good
looked
either.
great.
I think that
He has,
Trent Thornton, Anthony Castro, and Rafael Dolas, I think they're all great. So they came in, the
yeah.
relievers were great. The closers were relievers.
For
I think that
Anthony
there
Castro
wasn't
going
really.
into his first ever MLB game and going 2 innings scoreless, not giving up a hit is pretty lovely. I would take that. And Rafael Delis got the win today.
I don't know. If I look at the Yankee side, I mean, it looked like they really had one really good player tonight. That was Aaron Judge.
Judge. And their
Judge was
pitching
great.
was pretty bad.
Yeah, I think that goes both ways though. So it wasn't too
Yeah.
much of a disadvantage for them. Any final notes here?
No, just you'll see more of us, I guess, on Mondays and Thursdays.
Mondays and Thursdays. All right,
And
that's gonna conclude this one.
possibly at 6:30.
Maybe we'll see.
And
That
maybe
is the time
special
of
guests.
recording. Time of recording is about 7:55 right now. So we will see.
And maybe some special guests for certain subjects.
Juicy. All right, that's gonna do it for the podcast today. Thanks for listening and tune in for more.